So, on Facebook, I received a question from Matt. He's asking what's going to heat the house water. I'm assuming he meant the heat and the hot water and all that. We are going to do a 1,000-gallon propane tank out in the back side. It's going to supply our kitchen, Melissa's stove, and anything that draws propane, gas grills, flat tops outside, all that stuff. And then I'm going to do a wall unit of propane as the heat for the house. But I did some looking around, and because I have 30 acres of woods, that it's free fuel, and at least once a week I hear something falling back there, so there's plenty of fuel to burn. And I missed one important thing. The old regulation was you had to be 500 feet from any neighbor in any direction. And if you weren't, it's not permissible. Basically what you had to do is you had to be higher than the highest roof, including your own, with the chimney on these. And I found this one online on Marketplace, and it was a good deal, pretty inexpensive. I was going to try to get it out back towards my woods, kind of the way the lingo was. I really didn't understand it. That's kind of the rundown here, how this is going. I'm going to be selling this unit. We'll get somebody from a farm or whatever the case that they have that they want to put this in. Great unit, but it just couldn't fit my needs because I need to be EPA 2 certified. Hopefully this answers your question, Matt. My internal boiler wall unit is propane heated. The central boiler, E-Classic, when this runs, it's going to be warm enough. My thermostats inside do not kick in for the boiler to go on, so I'll be heating with wood. If for some reason I'm not home long enough where this drops below temps, my thermostat on my main boiler kicks in, circulates, it goes out to the boiler here, it keeps this up until I can get to it. So it's kind of like another room. It's like heating another zone until I can get my fire going again. So that is pretty much what happened here with my wood boilers, my heating situation. Thanks, guys. Neighbors, we have side-by-sides out here. All right. That's it for this clip. I'm going to get started. I'm going to put the chair rails down and we'll go from there. As I mentioned, I'm going to put this rebar in first underneath since I have extra. Strengthen it up a little bit. Don't have to, but I have it, I might as well use it. This is what a chair rail is. Okay. Okay, it's got 2 rungs on the bottom, 1 rung up top, and it stands the rebar off the top of this. That'll give me 2 inches of lift. The PEX will be up on top. It'll keep it off the bottom. It'll float higher in the middle of the concrete, giving me better dissipation for heat. Okay, quick and easy. Next up is getting my rebar on top of this. I'm going to get some gloves on because that rusty rebar just stains your hands. It's no fun. So, next up. So here, guys, you see me standing in between the rails, pushing down on the rebar, creating a bow. Where my rebar meets, I have the tine sticking out, the end of the rebar. So if the concrete guys happen to be walking in between the chair rails, it's going to push those ends up and stick through the concrete. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating a bow and I'm making those stick up, and I'm taking my other foot and bending them back down, like this. Now once I get off of it, it returns pretty much back to its original state, but now the tabs are sticking down, so if they happen to be walking on it, those tabs will come up level. When they walk away, it'll return back to a downward state. I won't have anything protruding through my concrete. So that's it. That is all the tail ends of the tie wraps. Nothing will poke through. I am going to do one last check over, make sure I got no tabs sticking around here, and then I'm going to go on to the PEX. For any of you that do not know this, most pipes and lengths, rolls, electrical, low voltage, all the manufacturers now print every foot a marker. Neighbors. Perfect timing. Really? Anyways, every foot they print a marker. You'll see 0000, 0001, and so forth. On the first end, it's all zeros. On the last end here, the very end, it's 135 feet. So I know I got 135 foot of cable. I'm gonna go roughly every 8 or 12 inches here, making my loops. And I figure at 15 feet, I should have just enough. And if not, I'll bring the outsides in a little bit, shorten it up, because eventually there'll be walls here. I don't have to worry about hitting the pipe when I secure the wall frame. So to get started, I'm going to spin this out a little bit, and the first thing I'm going to do is give myself enough on the beginning so the pipe that comes in I can trim as needed and make my connections appropriately. So if you see my Thermopex pipe here, it's nice and tall and I have plenty of room to work with. So I'm going to match that like so, and I'm going to tie that with a tie wrap. to get me started. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to roll this out for my man. Sorry guys. Gotta have a little fun, right? And keep in mind as well, over here is going to be the wood boiler. This is going to be on the inside of the boiler. This is where the boiler is going to sit this way. So I'm not really too concerned about this area heating it because the boiler is going to do that for me anyways. I'm using it as a point of entry for the pipe, and as I come out here, that'll cover this section, and then I'll start looping in here. With that said, as you notice, I'm just going end to end for now. That way there I can make my fine-tune adjustments as I go. When I get to the far end, if I'm a little short, I can manipulate it, get what I need, and then I can and then I can come back every 8 inches and tie it all in. By the way, I'm in farmlands, so out here anything goes. We have side-by-sides, we have dirt bikes, we have quads, we have firearms. I have no problems with it. Back to the pad here, I roughed in the PEX radiant floor heating. At the point now where I got to tie every 8 inches to hold this tube down to the rebar. And the last thing was to correct my mistake. I misjudged the height here. I forgot the insulation is 2 inches thick. And I got a 6-inch pad coming, which leaves me 4 inches of concrete to the top of this board. And it's going to leave my PEX piping too close to the top of the 2-inch chair rail. So for the 2-inch chair rail, my rebar's at 2 inches. That only leaves another 2 inches, which my PEX pipe is going to be way too close to the surface. It could cause cracking. It could pop through the surface. So I'm going to be fixing that. I'm going to bring the box up, and I'll support it with some boards on the outside, repack the stone, make sure everything's tidy and in place, and I won't have any issues with spill. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to be putting in the rest of the tie wraps. Okay,